Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Town of Abington Town Council meeting Monday, May the 5th, 2025 to order. Kim, if you'll please call roll.
I think Ms. Pillion needs to.
First, we would like to turn it over to Miss Amanda Pillion.
Okay, I have something to read. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Pursuant to the Code of Virginia, Chapter 37, Virginia Freedom of Information Act 2.2-3708.34, and in accordance with the resolution of the Council endorsing an electronic meeting policy adopted on April 20th, 2020, I, Amanda Pillion, respectfully request to participate in the May 5th, 2025 meeting by electronic means. I will be physically located in Charlottesville, Virginia. My remote attendance is necessary to attend a meeting of the University of Virginia Board of Visitors yesterday and today and tomorrow.
Glad that you're here with us this evening.
Thank you. This technology is super cool.
Yes, ma'am. Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb.
Here.
Ms. Quetch. Here. Ms. Pillion.
Here.
Vice Mayor Austin.
Present.
And Mayor Anderson.
Here. Now we would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll be led by Vice Mayor Wayne Austin.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I would like to call Miss Barbara Farmer for tonight's prayer. And if I could have everyone please stand for the prayer.
Council members, Mayor Anderson, and members far away. So thank you for this privilege to be here tonight. It's
Yes, ma'am.
something that I take very seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's pray. Father, I thank you indeed for the privilege of standing before this elected body for our fair town of Abingdon, Virginia, a place that's my hometown and a place that has occupied my heart and captured my heart. So I pray that you would remind me of my responsibility and my duty to pray for those who have been duly elected to serve our county, our town, with dignity, with integrity, and with the sole purpose of bettering our community and managing the finances entrusted to them. And I pray, Lord, that you would instill in them the responsibility and the seriousness of carrying out their duties of this office, and doing so with, as I said, with integrity and with physical responsibility. So, Lord, you just help us all. We're just pitiful people. We're in need of your hand. We're in need of your touch, and we most of all, Father, we're in desperate need of your wisdom. So grant that here tonight, Father. Whatever actions are taken, may they be pleasing to you, and may they be in accordance with your will. And it's in that frame and in that spirit that I pray in the name of the one that we serve, Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Farmer.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
And with that, we'll have the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the?
But, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to amend the proposed agenda immediately after subsection I, as we go into the resolutions, to include a discussion for the deferral of the imposition of penalty and interest on the first half of town real estate taxes for this year, the ones that many people receive today. And I would like for us to discuss the deferral of the imposition of penalty and interest for a period of time.
We need to make a motion on that.
So I think that was his motion.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes.
Do we
Mr.
have
Austin, do you want to make that
To approve the agenda with that amendment, I would make that motion.
And do you want to make that J3 so we stay?
Yes, sir. That'd be great.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb.
Aye.
Ms. Quetch. Aye. Ms. Pillion.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin.
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson.
Aye. All right. Now, if we could get the approval of the minutes for Kim, can we do all three of those together, or?
Mr. Webb is absent.
I have to
Okay.
abstain from, yeah.
Well, we'll just go through them separately. So if we could do the approval of minutes for April the 7th, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb?
Aye.
Ms. Quetch? Aye. Ms. Pillion?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin?
Aye.
Mayor Anderson?
Aye. Now we'll have the approval of the minutes for April 24th, 2025.
I'd make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb?
Aye.
Ms. Quetch? Aye. Ms. Pillion?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin?
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson?
Aye. And now for the approval of the minutes for April the 30th, 2025. And Mr. Derek Webb was absent for that.
Sure. Yes,
Well-
for the record, I was absent for the 30th meeting, so I will recuse myself from that vote.
Yes, sir.
I would move that those minutes be approved as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb?
Abstain.
Ms. Quetch? Aye. Ms. Pillion?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin?
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson?
Aye. Now we're going to go to public comments. I think we have two people signed up for public comments. And if you would come forward, please, Mr. Greg Lilly, and state your full name and your address.
I'm Greg Lilly. I'm at 244 East Valley Street, Abington, Virginia, 24210. Thank you for the time tonight. Weekend before last, I went to the DC area for a convention. So I drove 81 north and then took I-66 east into DC. So if any of you have driven that way, you know it's not an easy drive. Actually, it's bumper to bumper on 81 going north and south. When you approach DC, it just stops. And you get on the Beltway, you can't move. That's a big contrast to what it used to be when I lived in Williamsburg. We would get on Amtrak and go straight in, never had to get into traffic whatsoever. So I was really excited to see that Christiansburg has broke ground for their Amtrak station. And I looked at our comprehensive plan for 2020. And in the transportation chapter on page 28, it says that Abington had looked at a feasibility study from 1997. Now, I know there's been several since then, but it was said that passenger rail service between Bristol, Richmond, and DC, the proposed rail station in Abington is what they were wanting to do for transportation. And it said the town of Abington remains supportive of potential future passenger rail service in the town. So what I'd like to do is, I went to look for this, and there is a website, and I don't know how long this has been there, but it's to and through bristolrail.com. And it lists all the partners in the area that are doing it. That includes the municipalities of Bristol, Washington County, Johnson City, Kingsport, educational organizations like Virginia Highlands Community College, Emory and Henry, ETSU, UVA-Wise, civic and business organizations, including Food City, Bristol Motor Speedway, Hard Rock Casino, Ballot Health, and Invest Southwest Virginia. Absent from that list was the town of Abington. So I'm here to ask that the town join the support of getting Amtrak through Bristol with a stop in Abington. And with that, I'd also ask the town to incorporate with the current passenger station renovations a plan for possible Amtrak stop. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greg Lilly. And next signed up for public comment will be Mr. Adam Bolt. Adam, if you'll please state your full name and your address when you get started, please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Adam Bolt. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Town of Abingdon and Tourism Department, 15294 Whites Mill Road. And I just wanted to make aware of a few events that we have going, that we're bringing to the area. The first of which is a bike park jam and demonstration by a group of young men, 10 and 13-year-old YouTubers called Trio Behind Bars. They're most recently in Mexico at a Red Bull event doing jumps that go over cars. So they're going to come to our bike park on May 17th, and we're going to play some music to get people energetic and go over, watch what they can do, and hopefully that will show some other the youth community what's possible at our wonderful bike park. When I was a kid, we had Sean's backyard, and so what a great thing to have in our community, and we want to highlight that with some YouTubers. And so that's May 17th at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's free admission for all ages. They're going to be showing us what we can do with the bike park, and should be a fun time. The other one we're really excited about, working with the Abingdon Rotary, is the Abingdon Inaugural Soapbox Derby, which will be a soapbox race from Partington Place down to Sinking Springs, and also with centered around the youth to help STEAM and STEM programs to build the cars out and race them down a hill. And we're also inviting adults to participate as well, and businesses, groups. Anyone with a stick welder is invited to build a car and race it down the hill. We Chief Holbrook and I, we did get to do a sample run one Sunday morning, and we got a little work to do on the speed, but it was great, and really excited about that event. So just wanted to mention that. Thank you all.
And then the air in the tires, it helps. I noticed that in the soapbox trials. The question, the YouTubers, they have a lot of followers, right?
Yeah, they're like 16,000 or something like that,
Yeah.
and so 10 months out of the year they're in a van traveling the country. And we're really, really lucky to get them, and I hope that we can do some more programming with the bike park out there. This will be really cool.
Cool.
The
Thank
mayor
you,
wants to
Ed.
start his car from Stonewall Heights.
That's it.
That was the original thought, but yeah. Anyways, I think it's gonna be. I think we're good where we're at.
Where we're at,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks. Y'all have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Adam. Thank you all for all your hard work over there at the Information Center as well,
Thank
too. Keep up the good work.
Thanks,
Thank
Adam.
you, sir. And with that being said, we will close the public comment. Now we're going to move on to proclamations. The first proclamation that we have is a proclamation recognizing May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as the 56th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week. And I'm going to have Vice Mayor Wayne Austin read that proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a proclamation recognizing the 56th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is a time-honored and essential part of local government with a presence in communities across the globe. And whereas the position of municipal clerk is one of the oldest among public servants, rooted in a long-standing tradition of service, integrity, and dedication. And whereas professional municipal clerks serve as the vital link between citizens, local governing bodies, and intergovernmental agencies, ensuring transparency, accessibility, and efficiency in public administration. And whereas municipal clerks uphold the highest standards of neutrality and impartiality, delivering equal and dedicated service to all members of the public. And whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk functions as a central source of information regarding the operations and activities of local government and the community at large. And whereas municipal clerks are committed to continually enhancing the effectiveness of their offices through ongoing education, training, and active participation in state, provincial, national, and international professional associations. And whereas it is both fitting and timely to recognize the outstanding contributions of professional municipal clerks and their unwavering commitment to public service, now therefore Dwayne Anderson does hereby proclaim the week of May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and extend sincere appreciation to all municipal clerks for the vital services they provide and their exemplary dedication to the communities they so faithfully serve.
And I guess we'd like to present this to Miss Kim Kingsley, if
It's
that's okay.
It's okay.
And Kim,
Thank you, though.
Kim, I just want to say, you know, when I first came onto the town council, you've led me in the right direction from being a council member to vice mayor to where I'm at now, being the mayor. So we are very fortunate to have you as our clerk here in the town of Abingdon. So thank you very much for the things that you do for the council and the people of Abingdon, Virginia.
And I'll second all that. I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
You
I
really
love
do
my
a
job
wonderful
in the
job.
community.
All right. Wonder if we could get somebody to take a picture of us presenting this to Kim, because Kim, you usually take the pictures. We'd like to do this.
We'll do it another time.
Let's do it. No, Kim, we're gonna do it today. We're gonna do it today. We're gonna do it, Kim.
Oh, you got it? Okay. I got it.
We're dressed alike.
We are. We'll photo like Miss Pillion did.
I was going to say, how are we going to get that? We miss you.
And the second proclamation that we have this evening will be a proclamation recognizing May the 18th through the 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week. And Council Member Donna Quince will be reading that.
Yes, Proclamation National Public Works Week. The theme is People, Purpose, and Presence. Whereas public works professionals are the backbone of our community's infrastructure, responsible for the essential systems and services that support daily life and ensure the health, safety, and well-being of the residents of the town of Abingdon. And whereas these vital services, including transportation networks, water and wastewater systems, solid waste management, and public buildings, are made possible by the dedication and expertise of engineers, managers, and staff across all levels of government and the private sector. And whereas the tireless efforts of these individuals help build and maintain sustainable, resilient communities, significantly enhancing our quality of life. And whereas it is essential for all citizens, civic leaders, and future generations in the town of Abingdon to recognize and appreciate the indispensable role of public works in our everyday lives. And whereas 2025 marks the 65th Annual National Public Works Week, as sponsored by the American Public Works Association and Canadian Public Works Association, celebrating the theme, People, Purpose, Presence. Now, therefore, Mayor Dwayne Anderson do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through 24, 2025, as National Public Works Week in the town of Abingdon. I encourage all residents to acknowledge the invaluable contribution of our public works professionals by participating in ceremonies, events, and educational activities that honor their work and commitment to building a stronger, safer community.
And I think we have Mike Surratt here, if you'll come forward. And Mike, one thing I'd like to say too, without the public works and all of y'all's hard work, this town would be nothing. You know, the streets are clean, flowers are looking beautiful, everything that your crew does over there. We really appreciate that in the town of Abingdon. So thank you all for all the hard work that y'all do. If you'll come forward, please, Mike.
I also get the privilege to serve on infrastructure. They keep me informed.
Keep up the good work, Now we're going to move on to our next, which will be public hearing. And I have one person signed up for public hearing. And I apologize if I get the last name wrong, but I think it's Alan Shoop.
Shope.
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 Shope. Mr. Allen.
S-H-O-P.
Mr. Alan Shope, if you'll please come forward, please. If you'll state your first and your last name and your mailing address, please.
Need to open the public hearing first.
I'd like to open the public hearing. So the public hearing is open.
Good evening, council. I'm Alan Shope, 783 East Main Street in Abingdon. And we're here, we're opening up an auction company. We sell estates for the local community. It's a service. We sell everything from antiques to real estate to gold, silver, jewelry, furnishings. Sell about everything, automobiles. But we have located at 783 East Main Street, right where the Wolf Hills Plaza is. Roses is right beside us. CVS is across from us. And, we sell vinyl and laminate flooring as well.
We're glad to have you all.
Well, we're glad to
Town of
be here.
Abingdon.
Things are, we went through the flood in Damascus. We're starting completely over from scratch, so it's, but we are, it's looking good. Very nice establishment.
Thank you for saying that. If there's anything that the town or the council, anyone on this council can help to do, anything we can do to help you generate business or make you feel comfortable in the town of Abingdon, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Come out and join us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming out this
Any
evening.
questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Have you connected with the Washington County Chamber at all?
At this point, we have not.
Okay.
This was kind of a quick move.
Okay.
Part
You
of,
might want to check into that.
we will, I mean, we're just kind of shorthanded at the moment as well. Everything that we went through, it's been, not been a pleasant move, but what we're seeing is we were on Lee Highway for several years. And the amount of people that's came out that's just heard that we're there, it's been amazing, the support that we're seeing. So we're glad to be here.
Well, the reason I say that, I serve on the chamber board also, and there is an opportunity to be at the Higher Ed Center with a room full of business owners and professionals, and I think they benefit from each other being there. But you have to be a member, but I can put you in contact with who you need to be with if you're interested, okay? Or you can just look it up online.
We will do.
What days are you all open and hours are you open?
We're open 6 days a week, and we're there from 9 to 4.
9 to 4.
Sometimes a little later on the weekends. Just depends on what kind of staff we've got available. I mean, it's been a little bit of a skeleton crew right now, but we are looking to expand as soon as we get rolling.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. And Donna, thank you for explaining the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, the chamber also offers like a ribbon cutting, and they invite people to come, so I just, if I can help you with that anyway.
We'll get in touch with them tomorrow.
All right? Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll close the public hearing.
So we got a little bit out of order there. We need to do the public hearing for the ordinance first.
Okay, excuse me. We will now do the public hearing for the the adopt of the ordinance amending the financial year 2024-25, the annual budget. And I would ask Town Manager Mike Cochran and the Director of Finance Steve Troutman to discuss these amendments. Good evening, Steve. How are you tonight? Good to see you, sir.
So, just before we get started, I know I notified y'all on Friday, but we were notified on Friday that we are on the receiving end of a $534,257.47 grant from the Wellspring Foundation. There's zero match on that because the way the grant request was structured is this is for the playground at the Coombs for the fall surface or the EDA compliant surface. And so what the town has already put up towards the playground is already seen as the match. So in your packet was the original request, but the grant proceeds have been increased to reflect the increase in revenues coming in. So that's $534,257.47, but there is no additional expenditure other than what's already been in the budget. That was the playground where you had appropriated money for it. We did some fundraising as well. So,
So the amendment for the 2024-2025 budget that we're currently in right now, we'd be asking the council to amend the budget to increase the revenue by $2,413,656.05. That would be the total project cost for all of the grants, and that would be the expenditures. The revenue would be coming from the grants themselves of $2,065,241.51, which would require the use of general fund of $358,414.54. So the use of the general fund revenue as well as the revenue from the grants would equal the total expenditure of the $2.413 million. And y'all had a list of the grants that had been awarded this year. And we're asking for the amendment because all of these grants were awarded this year. They won't necessarily be spent or received this year. They will end up rolling over into next year's budget, which y'all have already looked at that as well. So.
yeah, so it's, and I think it was what was the percentage on the?
15% of
Yeah.
the total project cost of this will be borne by the town through the use of general funds. So that's a remarkable return on a small investment relative to the scope of the projects.
Yeah, no, it's truly remarkable. A lot of times when you get grants, it might be a third match or sometimes more. So to get that much out of, it's pretty remarkable. So
I think that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, no, it really is. It's amazing. And in speaking with the Wellspring folks, they do want to discuss naming rights, which I think is perfectly appropriate because it's without them, your grandkids would have dirty socks because they'd be on wood chips. So it's that was kind of the whole thing is to get rid of those wood chips we got right now, but it'll make the whole thing ADA compliant, which is huge. So. But yeah, so we've got the list of the grant expenditures, and like as Steve said, is not all will be expended this year. They'll just carry forward into next year's budget. Did you want to go through the list of them again?
Would you all like for? I know I received the list. I'm familiar with it. Is there one? Amanda, are you familiar with the list, or would you like for him to go through it, Amanda?
No, I'm fine with it.
Yes, ma'am. Donna, Derek, everyone's fine with that?
Oh, good shape.
All right.
On a personal note, I'd really like to say thank you so very, very much to the Wellspring Foundation for all they've done for the town, not just the region, but they've contributed a lot of funding for different projects. But just for the town, between the community kitchen and the playground, we're looking at almost $1 million that will benefit not just town residents, but county residents and visitors alike. So it's a remarkable partnership there. And kudos to the town manager and our grants coordinator for seeing those things over the finish line.
It's, no, it's an amazing effort, and we're very fortunate and blessed to have them in the town working for us, so it's pretty amazing, so.
Thank you all for all your hard work.
Thank you, Steve.
Make a motion to open the public hearing. I don't think there's anybody here, but open it and close it.
I'd like to open the public hearing to any comments on that. If there's no comments, we'll move on to the next we'll close the public hearing,
Yes, sir.
and then we'll open it back up for Mr. Gage, right?
Then just go on the resolution.
Okay. Next will be a public hearing for a special use permit for the auction sales business in the General Business District B2, located at 783 East Main Street, tax map number 007-1-3. And we've got Mr. Gabe Safari here to explain that to us.
Hi, Gabriel Christofari with the town of Abingdon. So you've already heard from the applicant of that business, Alan Shoup of Appalachian Trading Post and Auction Company, have requested approval of a special use permit to allow an auction sales business in the General Business District, or B2, and it's located at 783 East Main Street. And so, some background. Currently, the Appalachian Trading Post and Auction Company occupies the building address 783 East Main Street within the Wolf Hill Shopping Center. So CVS is there, Rose's is there, and a mattress store. But a lot of the other businesses that were there are gone, and a lot of them are empty, that area. At the moment, it's only functioning as a store for general selling of flooring supplies. So as a general retailer, it's allowed to be there, but the SUP is required for the auction sales business portion of it. Adjoining properties to the north and east are zoned high-density residential, or RR3 district. Adjoining properties to the south are zoned agricultural and forestal, and limited industrial and general business district B2. Adjoining properties to the west are zoned general business district. So it's kind of surrounded by a variety of uses. Staff findings. The applicant proposes to allow an auction sales business within the general business district, B2. The ordinance defines an auction sales business as an occasional or periodic commercial activity held groups of sellers renting space on a short-term basis to display barter or sell secondhand goods to the public, or one or more sellers bringing goods for auctioning to the public. An auction sales business is only allowed in the B2 in the general business district as a special use. Signage, the applicant proposed business is located in a building 65 feet in length, allowing for a maximum area of 130 square feet of wall signage in the B2 district. The applicant proposes to install a 4-foot by 8-foot, 32 square feet, non-illuminated metal sign located above the front entrance door. The sign will have a black background and use the color gold and white for the lettering and logo. Window signage is allowed 10% square foot of the total area of all windows on each building facade in the B2 district. The square footage of all windows and doors combined is 247 square feet, allowing for a maximum total area of window signage to be 24.7 square feet. Lighted window signage is prohibited. The applicant is proposing 24.7 square foot of window signage. An example rendering is provided below. So I'll just show you kind of here is what it would look like in a sense right there. If the window signage request is approved by the Planning Commission and Town Council, the applicant will need to submit a sign permit to staff with the dimensions showing that it is less than or greater to 24.7 square feet for window signage. Parking, they've got adequate amount of parking. As you know, that's a very large parking lot for a variety of businesses, so they meet the parking requirement for that. In total, they would need 34 parking spaces, but as we know, it's a large space, and there's upwards of 300 striped spaces, so they have adequate parking to suit this business there. The SUP findings, one is to demonstrate that the proposed use, when complemented with additional measures, if any, will be in harmony with the purposes of the specific district in which it will be placed. The two other businesses that share the building are Rose's and Box Truck Mattress Outlet, established as a retail stores. The current business within the building is Appalachian Trading Post and Auction Company. The business is currently only doing retail, which is a by right use, so it's kind of all retail in that area, so it's not really affecting any of the other uses in there. Demonstrate that there will be no undue adverse impact on the surrounding neighborhood in terms of public health, safety, or general welfare, and show measures to be taken to achieve such goals. The parcel adjacent on the north side of the proposed business is Abingdon High School. There is an existing dense tree line along the northern property line of the proposed business, screening this location from the high-density residential use. So there's that buffer in there that we always like to see from a more intensive to a less intensive use. The existing tree line should remain intact to preserve that natural screening. The parcels adjacent on the east side of the proposed business are owned and utilized by the Washington County School Board. The parcels are used for storing buses and other vehicles. Trees and bushes are sparsely dispersed along the eastern property line as well. So again, there's that buffer there. The parcels adjacent on the west and south side of the proposed business are general business and limited industrial, which are equal or more intense to this use. 3, show that the proposal meets the applicable specific and general standards required by this article. They do, obviously, after of what I've gone through. They meet the parking, they have the buffers, everything's there. And then we added some additional conditions that we always do with some of these special use permits. Storage items for the business may not be placed in the front or rear of the building or seen from a public right-of-way. So again, keeping it nice and clean as it is with all the other businesses there. Window signage is limited to 10%. Window signs should not be illuminated. All proposed signage to be installed must submit the sign permit, as I've stated previously. No architectural lighting may be around the windows, door, or building facade. Again, no other of the businesses have it, so again, it's to keep that uniform kind of look. And then we just put this here because it's near a residential district, but no music shall be played after 5 p.m. Monday through Sunday. Again, so that's just something we put in there to ensure that the residential is not affected in any way by the business that is going in or that's there. So, in terms of the vote, we had 2 absent from the Planning Commission, but other than that, everybody approved it as presented with the staff conditions.
And Vice Mayor Austin, are you on that? Or-
I am, yes.
All right. Seemed like everything was in line with that, with your recommendation?
Absolutely. The Planning Commission was very much in favor of it, felt like it was a good use to repurpose this building that has been empty for quite some time. And I also made the statement at the time, and I'll repeat it, I'm familiar with Mr. Shope's business, both when he was on the west end of Abingdon, down near the airport area, when he went to Damascus, beside the river over there, which unfortunately was his business was destroyed in the flood, and now up here, my observations, personal observations, have been that the clientele visiting his businesses is certainly appropriate. I've never seen anything. I think one of the concerns that someone mentioned at some time would be storage of any items on the outside. Never seen anything like that at any of his businesses. And so with the conditions that are set forth in the proposed resolution here, the Planning Commission voted unanimously of those who were present to recommend this special use permit be granted to the town council.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Austin. Does anyone have any questions for Gabe? I'd like to open the floor to public comments, public hearing, if anyone has any questions or concerns that would like to speak out. If there's no further comments, I will close the public hearing.
I would make a motion that the resolution be approved that grants a special use permit as set forth in the proposal in council's packet here, which includes the conditions that are set forth in that resolution, that it be approved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb.
Aye.
Ms. Quetch.
Aye.
Ms. Pillion.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin.
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Now we're going to move on to resolutions. We have a couple of resolutions this evening. The first resolution will be the adoption of the Mount Rogers Planning District Regional Pre-Disaster Hazard Mitigation Plan. And I'll ask Fire Chief Estes to come forward and present that to us.
Good evening.
Good
Mayor,
evening,
members
sir.
of council, both here and abroad. So it's nice that since 2020, you're able to add electronic means to do certain things, isn't it? Tonight, I come before you, I'm going to give you a handout so you kind of see what we're talking about. It's very simple. This is just a section of the Mount Rogers Hazard Mitigation Plan that pertains to Washington County and all the towns in Abingdon, in Washington County, including the town of Abingdon. It's important that you see that what we have gone through, determine what list of things we see as a hazard. The importance of adopting this resolution allows us to apply for grants to mitigate these hazards. This past year, before Helene came through, we actually added several items to this plan. And so tonight, if you adopt the resolution, this will allow us to move forward with grant projects if we choose to apply for grants. But if it's not in the plan, then we cannot apply for funding for those projects. The Mount Rogers Planning District is the housing for that regional hazard mitigation plan. They put it together for all of Mount Rogers District, and they look for input from all the localities in that planning district to submit what we need. So what we would ask tonight is for you to adopt the resolution as presented and authorize the town manager to endorse said plan as presented. And there is a resolution attached. Would you like me to read it for you?
If you don't mind.
I
Yes,
don't
sir.
mind. A resolution by the Council of the Town of Abingdon adopting the Mount Rogers Planning District Regional Pre-Disaster Hazard Mitigation Plan. Whereas the Town of Abingdon acknowledges the significant risk that natural hazards pose to both its residents and property, and whereas the town has developed a comprehensive multi-hazard mitigation plan, hereinafter referred to as the Mount Rogers Planning District Regional Pre-Disaster Hazard Mitigation Plan, in compliance with all applicable federal legislation, including the Robert T. Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act as amended, the National Flood Insurance Act of 1968 as amended, and the National Dam Safety Program Act as amended, and whereas the Mount Rogers Planning District Regional Pre-Disaster Hazard Mitigation Plan outlines strategic mitigation objectives and actions designed to reduce or eliminate long-term risk to individuals and properties within the town of Abingdon from future hazards and disasters, and whereas adoption of this plan affirms the town of Abingdon's ongoing commitment to hazard mitigation and to the achievement of the goals set forth in the Mount Rogers Planning District Regional Pre-Disaster Hazard Mitigation Plan. Now, therefore, be resolved by the town council or by the council of the town of Abingdon that Section 1, in accordance with the Code for the Town of Abingdon, Virginia, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 2, Division 4, Ordinances and Resolutions, the Town Council hereby adopts the Mount Rogers Planning District Regional Pre-Disaster Hazard Mitigation Plan. While specific sections pertaining to the Town of Abingdon may be revised to meet approval criteria, any such revisions made after this adoption will not require additional readoption by the town. Future updates made during subsequent plan cycles will require separate resolutions for adoption.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
I'll make the motion to adopt this resolution.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb?
Aye.
Ms. Quetch?
Aye.
Ms. Pillion?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin?
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson?
Aye. The next resolution on the list.
We just,
Okay. All right.
Deferral.
And that's going to be the one with what, Vice Mayor Austin?
Yes, the one we amended the agenda on.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, as many people did today, many residents today, I received my town real estate tax bill. As I began to look at it, I noted that the due date is May 20th, as set by statute. Today is May 5th. That's approximately 2 weeks in the future for those to be paid. I think that that's a short period of time for people to receive a bill as they have today. And I was talking with Ms. Quetch. She said she's not even received hers yet, so perhaps there are many others out there that have not received those tax bills at this time. I recognize that many people, many residents, have escrow payments in their mortgages that will pay those. We're not changing the due date of it, but I would like for the council to give consideration to deferring the imposition of any interest or penalty until June 10th, as opposed to the current due date of May 20th for town real estate taxes. I would also like to point out that the delay in having these tax bills mailed is certainly not the fault of the town. This was or any of the administrative staff. We had to wait on the assessment, the new assessment this year, which began a delay, and that continued with one issue after the other, and they were mailed as soon as it was possible for them to be mailed. So it's not the fault of the town or town administration that those did not get out earlier, but again, for those who do not have that included in their mortgages, I would like to consider that we defer the imposition of this penalty or interest until June 10th.
I think that's a wonderful idea, Vice Mayor Austin. That's really good, and thank you for clarifying that. It wasn't on the town's fault. It was just something, a process that we were going through, so thank you for that. And do I have a motion?
I would put that in the form of a motion.
I would second that.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb?
Aye.
Ms. Quetch?
Aye.
Ms. Pillion?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin?
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson?
Aye. Thank you, Vice
Thank you.
Mayor, for that. Thank you. So now we are going to go to the first reading of ordinance, and this ordinance is to amend the financial year 2024-25 annual budget.
And so if you want to do two readings, then all you say is, shall the matter be rejected, and it'll go on to a second reading if it's not rejected.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this ordinance tonight and waive a second reading of it as has been presented by Mr. Troutman and is included in the town packet here tonight.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb?
Aye.
Ms. Quetch?
Aye.
Ms. Pillion?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin?
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson?
Aye. We have no second reading of ordinance, no consideration of bids, no new business, no old business. We have no miscellaneous business we'll now go to miscellaneous business and communications from our town manager, Mr. Mike Cochran.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. The one question that I hear all the time, and the closer you get to the Coombs Center, the more often you'll hear the question, is when are the pickleball courts starting? And that would be, expected date is mid-June, is what I'm told. Mid-June, and it'll take a couple weeks to get it done, and that is the conversion of our tennis and pickleball courts up at the Coombs Center, and so those will be all pickleball when they're done. The basketball part will remain, but at mid-June. So if you happen to hear that in the community, or if there's community members watching, mid-June is when it should start.
The tennis courts as well for the high school?
Yeah, so the tennis courts are going to be all tennis, but this one, for scheduling reasons, they needed to get it in as soon as they could. So we had to wait for their tennis season to finish,
Gotcha.
because their courts are slightly delayed. I spoke to Keith the other day, and they expected them to be done in May. So we're close on the timeline, but if you see anybody in the community, mid-June is when you should be starting on our conversion to pickleball.
Thank you.
The other question is the playground work week. For those who have schedules, as you know, the playground at the Coombs Center is going to be a community build, which means that Public Works will be doing some, but there's also, as far as the actual assembly of it, they'll involve a lot of community labor, and that will be September 9th through the 14th are the build dates. And I know as the last one, the one that we're getting ready to part ways with is 30 years old. There's quite a few members of the community that were part of that original build. And part of the memories that are made there is helping put it together. Kids will recognize it, parents will recognize it. So that is September 9th through the 14th. That's after school gets back into
So it's
session.
gonna be completed in 5 days?
4 if we work hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, just a quick question.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with all the old equipment that is up there at the rec?
The wooden stuff is going to most likely it'll get disposed of. The parts that we can save, there's some things that can be salvaged, but most of the stuff is it's at the end of its life. As far as the wood material, they don't let you use anymore. It's just kind of reached. It was a 20-year life expectancy. We got 30, almost 31 years out of. So, but the same company is actually the manufacturer of the new stuff, which is all that composite material. But it's they're called Leathers is the name of the company. They just don't make it anymore because they don't let you use that stuff. So, but we're largely going to get rid of what we can and just salvage what we can and get rid of the rest. And the last one, even though the weather is not cooperating, the splash pad is operational starting this Friday. It will be open. So if your kids like to be cold, you can go out on Friday because it's probably going to be like 70 degrees. But if you've ever been around little kids, they don't really care. As long as there's water flowing, they'll get under it. So that'll open this Friday. And that's the only parts I had for today.
Just for people who are listening out there, what are the hours on the splash pads? If you could basically just run over that.
Don't have those in front of me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was like that.
That was
but
the
that's
question.
just-
Yeah.
That's just a question that I frequently get, and I apologize for
Yeah.
throwing that at you like that.
What's that? Yeah, I can put it out on social media. I don't want to be misquoted, so
Me
I,
either.
yeah.
Thank you, Mike, and like again, sorry for that.
No, that's all right.
that
It's all right.
curveball. But it's
Yeah.
just a question that I'm asked a lot. You know, a lot of people are just wondering, is it dusk to dawn, or I don't-
Close to that.
Yes,
So
sir.
the thing that I try to like originally they wanted to open it towards the end of May. And my thing is I don't want to be married to a calendar or a temperature. It's if it's there, if someone wants to go out there when it's so then let them go because now with the recirculating system, we're not worried about a huge water bill. But so basically the park is open when the lights are on, or park is open, basically until dusk. So I don't see any reason why the thing couldn't be left on late. But I'll put the hours on social media.
Thank you, Mike Cochran. Anyone have any questions for Town Manager Mike Cochran? All right, with that being said, we'll move on to council members' reports, and I don't know. Amanda, do you have anything that you would like to report for your council member report?
Only that we're working with me this week to get this set up. They wanted me to know that this is brand new technology. I think it's been used once for planning commission. And I think this is something that's new for the town, and I think it's wonderful. And I just wanted to tell them thank you for helping me get this set up and praise them for such a wonderful job that they did.
And I just got a little update that the splash pad, we're thinking will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Just to let everybody know that's out there listening. 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And that's 7 days a week. So Derek, do you have anything for your council reports?
Yes, I actually do. So this is a busy time of year for the committees and commissions that I serve on. So I want to recognize that for the Tree Commission, we had Earth Day a couple of weeks ago on Saturday at the Fields Pen House. It was a great success. Saw lots of the town residents and staff out there, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that was involved. It was really a great turnout. Even with the rain, it was a very, very good day. We had the Arbor Day celebration at Watauga Elementary. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there, but there was a great success, and I think both the mayor and the vice mayor were there,
And,
among many
Vice
others.
Mayor also both were there.
But Kevin Sigmund and the Tree Commission put a lot of effort into those ceremonies as well. That was a great success. And then this past Saturday, as I said, it's a busy time of year, and we had the tree giveaway of 800 and some odd trees at the
Nice.
rec center. And that was a
Nice.
great success as well. And as I said, I just wanted to thank everybody that was involved. I know there was a lot of town staff out there helping, as well as the Tree Commission members and all that. So it's just a really busy time of year for them. And then last but not least, I'd like to mirror what Steve said earlier about the Wellspring grant that was approved for the rec center playground. The Rec Advisory Commission has really been working hard to try to get that done. And that was kind of like, as one of the staff members said to me, one of the leaders of the rec center, that was kind of like winning the lottery for the playground. That is no small undertaking. We are so lucky to have facilities like the rec center in a town our size, and that playground is surely going to be another feather in the hat, and it's going to be a wonderful asset for the community as well as everybody who visits. So, thank you all.
Thank you, Derek. Now we'll move on to Ms. Donna Quintz.
We had infrastructure last Thursday, and everything's moving along on schedule, I guess. Every now and then you'll have a bump in the road, but I think everything's going real smoothly. And I have tourism tomorrow, and Adam was here to present all those events that's happening now, so it's great.
Thank you, Ms. Quintz. Vice Mayor Alston.
Yes, sir. Just to reiterate what Councilman Webb said, we enjoyed being out at the tree planting ceremony at Watauga Elementary School, and that was a fun time
That
with
was
the
a fun
kids out
time.
there.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Remind everyone again of the Veterans Park, the presentation of additional trees, and that ceremony on Memorial Day beginning at 11 a.m. And also on Memorial Park, Mr. Cochran told us at our last meeting, and I'll repeat what he said. If you've noticed that all of the grass and other, shall we say, mess on the hillside has been cleaned up.
They were doing that, I think, Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
looks very nice.
Mike Charette.
Very good.
Thank you.
And I
Maryland Public
understand
Works.
within about 2 weeks, it'll be sprayed with a weed killer. And then after that, we're going to replant it with wildflowers and a mixture of grass, local grass. Right. So that'll be very nice. Hopefully that'll take hold on that hillside and make it look much nicer.
Yes, sir.
And I saw that our fountain was going also.
Yes. Yes.
Looks good.
Thanks.
Well, I think everyone summed everything up very well with the council. The only thing that I have is this Thursday coming up at 11 a.m., we're having the ribbon cutting of the Washington County Public Library, a place where I spent many of my days growing up, and I think that's vital to the county and the town as well. So if anyone doesn't have anything to do, we'd love to have you out there at the ribbon cutting Thursday at 11 a.m. at the Washington County Public Library. I'm going to turn it over to Town Manager Mike Cochran. Do you have any further?
No, that pretty much covers that. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right. With that, we'll move on to appointments to boards and committees. And it is going to be the Veterans Advisory Board, and it is appointment to fill the unexpired term of Tim Estes, who has recently resigned. I think that we have one person that has asked that. Does anybody have any?
I mean, since we just have the one applicant, I'm okay with making a motion to appoint Tony Mitchell to the Veterans Advisory Board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Kim, if you'll please call roll.
Mr. Webb?
Aye.
Ms. Quetch?
Aye.
Ms. Pillion?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Austin?
Aye.
And Mayor Anderson?
Aye.
And if I could add something there, we have several committees that have vacancies. They're on the website. If you know of anyone that would like to apply, send them to the website.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Kim.
Kim, could I ask that you put some sort of blast out with the vacancies we have again so that those of us on social media can share that again?
I think Katie has done that.
Okay.
She told me that she.
Excellent.
I did share that, I think, last week. I think it was on the town page at least once or twice there last week, so we'll get that back on.
And the applications are in the hallway.
Yes, they are, and online also.
All right, with that being said, I will call this meeting to adjourn.
Thank you.
All right.